Hiroshi Mikitani, The Power to Compete, an economist and an entrepreneur on revitalizing Japan in the global economy. Embark on a journey through Japan's economic and political landscape in The Power to Compete, an economist and an entrepreneur on revitalizing Japan in the global economy, by Hiroshi Mikitani. Discover how the once dominant nation struggles to maintain its prowess due to factors like market protectionism, stifling bureaucracy, and lack of innovation. Find out about proposals for reform that could reignite Japan's economic growth, including restructuring employment systems, embracing innovation, and fostering an environment that values people over tradition. This summary highlights key issues hindering Japan's progress and provides a wealth of examples on the importance of learning from global engagement and embracing change.
Japan's economy in shambles. Japan's economy is facing a crisis due to its protective trade practices, hampering its innovation. Sclerotic bureaucracy and increased public debt have led to a lack of eagerness to embrace change by its leaders. Although the Shinzo Abe administration tried to reform the economy, it still suffers from state capitalism. Despite being technologically advanced, the lack of visionary leaders limits Japan's growth. The country needs to address its lifetime employment policies, inflexible labor markets, and working hour limitations to attract foreign workers and encourage female employment. Japan's innovation crisis. Japan's over-reliance on invention and lack of innovation have hindered its economic growth. Economist Joseph Schumpeter emphasized that innovation drives economic expansion and prosperity. Japan's funding system for startups is one pitfall as banks tend to be risk-averse, unlike venture capitalists in the US. To overcome this, Japan needs to encourage a culture of risk-taking, promote collaboration between industry and academia, and invest in research and development. Without innovation, Japan's economic future remains uncertain. Innovating for a global market. Japan faces challenges in meeting international standards due to their technology not fitting the global norms. South Korea's Samsung dominates the global TV market by engaging with the world and sending employees abroad to study new markets. Rakuten, a technology corporation, grew by hiring engineers from abroad, a strategy uncommon in Japan's insular society. Author Hiroshi Mikitani highlights the importance of embracing a global mindset to compete in innovation. Japan's brand decline. Japan's iconic brands are losing their once distinctive reputation, resulting in a decline in brand cachet and innovation. Sony's downturn, once equivalent to Apple's, had Akio Morita's death as a contributing factor, and Toyota's reputation has also waned. Japan's firms need to re-establish brand resilience to regain their position as a purveyor of cool products. However, some Japanese companies such as Rakuten made Sony's electronic payment service profitable. Japan can regain its revered status by embracing new disruptive technologies and giving more autonomy to the younger generation of engineers, who will create value for the company. The pros and cons of Abenomics. Abe's Abenomics policy is aimed at revitalizing Japan's economy. The policies are based on the Keynesian theory of fiscal stimulus, which suggests that government spending creates income for workers and investors, leading to a multiplier effect. The Japanese power structure does not support dissenting views about Abenomics. However, critics believe that the government bureaucracy stifles competitiveness in the private sector. Fiscal leakages and the tendency to save rather than spend in difficult times render fiscal stimulus ineffective. Experts suggest that investing in infrastructure in heavily congested areas could be more economically useful. Japan's soft infrastructure. Japan can benefit from soft infrastructure such as an IT autobahn and improved education. Instead of focusing solely on physical infrastructure, Japan must realize the importance of investing in communication networks and improving its school system. An IT autobahn could create a national framework of free, open communication networks, leading to a more robust multiplier effect. Education spending, focusing on people rather than construction, must be prioritized. Japan needs to make its school system more like its Western competitors, with smaller class sizes and less emphasis on rote memorization. The importance of English in global business. Many countries view English as critical to economic development, with some, like Turkey, investing billions in teaching it to their citizens. South Korea and Sweden have embraced English instruction, but Japan lags behind, despite their students spending a significant amount of time studying it. The problem lies in Japan's focus on memorization and lack of interactive learning opportunities. To address this issue, Japan needs to increase its education spending to provide more personalized instruction, as demonstrated by successful cram school tutors. While talented foreigners cannot work in Japan without speaking Japanese, this requirement may hinder their ability to compete globally. Furthermore, the intertwined relationship between Japanese industry and government creates a dynamic that favors the powerful and wealthy, perpetuating the need for English instruction to be viewed as a critical tool for upward mobility. Japan, a nation inwardly focused. Japanese students seem increasingly inward-looking, with fewer exchange students traveling to the US than South Korea. This is partly due to the limited use of computers in class and the focus on mundane courses in universities. These tendencies may reflect the country's insular nature. As the world becomes more interconnected, Japan risks withdrawing from international engagement. The cost of rescuing struggling firms. Japan's refusal to let struggling companies fail and resorting to public investment to keep them afloat is hurting its economy. The case of Japan Airlines as an example of a company that should have been allowed to collapse, resulting in new competition and low-cost carriers. Economist Joseph Schumpeter's philosophy of creative destruction is crucial in business's growth, but Japan's economy doesn't allow for it. The efficiency of Japan's labor market. Japan's labor market is having problems due to its lifetime employment system, rigid labor rules, and lack of worker mobility. The country's GDP per worker is ranked 23rd in the world due to its inefficiency, weak currency, and low workforce participation. Japan needs to reconceptualize education and prioritize freedom of choice over a uniform education. The workforce needs to return to the mindset they had during the Age of Discovery and become explorers once again. While some Japanese workers have talent and perform well, others are incompetent and remain employed because of Japanese law and inflexible work rules. Fields such as nursing and agriculture face labor shortages, and short-staffed sectors suffer from a lack of worker mobility. In conclusion, Japan's rigid labor market worked in a growing economy, but decades of stagnation and weak productivity have revealed its flaws. The country needs to implement changes that prioritize skill and effectiveness over longevity. Japan's immigration policies restricting its economic growth. Japan's reluctance to accept immigrants is impeding its economic growth compared to other countries like the US and China. While the US fosters an environment that welcomes and attracts up to 300,000 skilled foreign workers annually, Japan only allows 2,000 highly specialized technical workers to enter the country with visas each year. This attitude towards immigration limits opportunities for qualified professionals to contribute to Japan's economy, leaving the nation to struggle to find solutions to its aging population and workforce issues. Japan's orderly and advanced society could benefit from immigrant workers, but a shift in mindset is required. Japan's economic woes. Japan's exorbitant government spending, corporate taxes, power and fuel bills remain top priorities for immediate reduction. In Japan, government spending for 2010 registered at 23.1% of the gross domestic product, GDP, a higher percentage compared to the United States, South Korea, and Germany. One of the top priorities should be to lessen government spending. The country applies a high corporate income tax rate amounting to 35.6%, combined with a nifty special tax, making its corporate taxes the most significant among developed nations. The power billing system is almost twice as expensive in Japan compared to the United Kingdom and the United States, attributed to regional utility monopolies' formidable pricing power. Japan's gasoline also ranks high, establishing some of the world's most expensive petrol due to high taxes. Embracing global competition. Japan can leverage its unique cultural assets and succeed in a competitive open economy by deregulating its business environment. The book suggests that Japan has numerous gifts from its rich culture that can give it a competitive edge in the global economy. By deregulating its economic policies, Japan can open up to the world, create new opportunities for businesses, and foster innovation. The author's main message is that Japan should embrace competition, leverage its inherent strengths, and adopt an open economic environment to succeed in the global arena.
In conclusion, The Power to Compete highlights Japan's pressing need for economic and political overhaul to reclaim its position in the global arena. Staggering public debt, excessive public spending, lack of managerial leadership, and an overemphasis on invention rather than innovation contribute to this predicament. The book advocates for more flexible labor markets, increased focus on innovation, and a more open-minded approach to foreign competition and exchange. By drawing on success stories and lessons from the past, Japan has the opportunity to not only revitalize its economy but also harness its unique strengths and cultural heritage for a thriving future in the global economy.